expecting that much from Alita Battle Angel when I went and saw it. I thought it was going to be, like an average or lower level, mid tier, lower tier action movie, forgettable, almost like Ghost in the Shell or something with Scarlett Johansson. But I was pleasantly surprised at how like great and awesome this movie is. I was seriously like surprised. I thought it was a great. I think it's a really great movie, and I definitely recommend a lot of people see it. Basically, because it has. I like the world building that it sets up with the Earth in the future and with this sky city up there and all these things in it, and the atmosphere, the whole quasi cyberpunk, a futuristic apocalyptic atmosphere, sort of kind of apocalyptic. Well, yeah, it is apocalyptic, but the movie has a lot of the action sequences are good, and the movie has a lot of heart centered on its main character, Alita herself, played by Rosa Salazar. And I'm almost hesitant to use the word heart because I think heart is used so often to describe movies these days that it almost that description becomes meaningless. Like, what does it mean when a movie or a character has a heart? And why do we hear it so much today when I don't think we really heard that word used to describe movies so often like in the past? Like this movie's produced by James Cameron, right? In James Cameron's, heyday in Titanic, Terminator 2, Aliens, people, I don't think critics use the word heart so much to describe heroes in movies back then, but you hear it used so much now, like it's some kind of new concept. Movies that make you care about the characters or something, like, that's a lost art form in movies or whatever. But when I say heart or emotion in this movie, all I can say is that I really, felt for the character of Alita and the people in the movie when bad things would happen to them when they were sad. I felt sad for them. And I don't know what it is about this movie that made me feel that way for Alita and the character when other movies didn't really get me that emotionally invested. But I really do think that Rosa Salazar and James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez in the character of Alita, they really did make a hero that you really wanted to root for. Alita is very, very, tough and stuff as a cyborg, but she's also extremely human and very emotional in a very compassionate way. Her biggest weakness is, I think, also her biggest strength, in that she really cares a lot for the people that she loves in her life. But because she cares for them so much, they can be, used to hurt her. Hurting them hurts her. And also, I think her big heart does open her up to perhaps, be betrayed or, set up by people she does care about. I'm not going to go into spoilers. But basically, the plot of the movie is, you pretty much know the plot of this movie from the previews, right? A female cyborg, I guess, is resurrected or brought forth, repaired from wreckage, and, she is brought up initially to think she's a regular, cyborg, girl cyborg, I guess, for lack of a better way to phrase someone like her, and then finds out that she's really a weapon from somewhere else who, lost her memory and the programming her in time from this war. And as she finds out who she is, she gets wrapped up in a lot of, intrigue, with the Sky City and the city on the ground. And there was, a battle that she was a part of in her previous model, that sort of thing. And if I say anything more than that, I'll give away a plot of the movie. But, the fight scenes in the movie are good. The performances by Rosa Salazar and everybody else in the movie is great too. And the CGI is very good in this movie. I don't know. I wasn't really, because we have computer effects so often in movies these days, you take a lot of things for granted. But I noticed, this is based on a manga, right? A Japanese manga. And so I think they purposely made Alita look kind of like an anime girl with, really large eyes and things like that. And, Rosa Salazar, Alita does look like that in this movie, but the facial expression she has, it's really top-notch facial rendering. She does seem a lot like a flesh and blood person the way her face moves, even though her eyes are really large. But, it doesn't take you out of the story at all. The fact that she's basically a living anime or CG character. And, it doesn't really matter to you watching the movie. It didn't matter to me. I thought it was all really great. The performances of everybody else in the movie was good too. And I really hope that this movie, projections for this movie, I think initially and maybe right now are supposed to be pretty low. And, this movie might kind of get eaten up by the competition. But I have noticed on Rotten Tomatoes that the audience score for this movie is really high. And I myself, I don't contribute to Rotten Tomatoes, but if I did, I'd rate it pretty high. The critics are giving it kind of a hard time, but I think this movie's great. I mean, it's basically like a comic book or an anime or a manga come to life, really. So if you like that kind of stuff, you should like Alita Battle Angel. And the movie does end with an obvious, sequel set up or teased. However, I don't know if we'll get a sequel because, like I said, I'm not sure how much money this movie's going to make because I think a lot of people are expecting it to tank. But if word of mouth is good, and it could have pretty long legs. I think that people who see this movie will talk really good about it and help it survive possibly in theaters. And this is its opening weekend, so maybe it'll surprise and open up higher than people expected. But I strongly recommend you to go see it if you like sci-fi, action, and anime, and live action stuff that's in the same kind of genre. Because Alita Battle Angel is a pretty good movie. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.